Although pet cemeteries can now be found all over the world, burial grounds reserved specifically for animals were not common until the late 19th century. Hartsdale Canine Cemetery in Hartsdale, New York, just north of Manhattan, is the oldest pet cemetery in the United States and was established in 1896. The Los Angeles Pet Memorial Park, formerly known as the Los Angeles Pet Cemetery, is located in Calabasas, California. It was established in 1929 and is the oldest pet cemetery in LA County. You can get there by taking the Parkway Calabasas off-ramp on the Ventura Freeway. There are many celebrity animals interred here. I'll start with Jiggs. Jiggs was a chimpanzee that was born in 1929 and died in 1938. Jiggs originated the character Cheetah in the first 3 Tarzan films that Johnny Weissmuller appeared in. But 7 Tarzan films had already been made before Johnny Weissmuller came along in 1932 to play the role of Tarzan. The first Tarzan film was a silent film 14 years earlier in 1918 and starred Elmo Lincoln in the role of Tarzan. Johnny Weissmuller won 5 Olympic gold medals in swimming in the 1924 and 1928 Olympic Games. And Weissmuller is probably the most recognized actor to play the Tarzan role. He made 12 Tarzan films from 1932 to 1948. Jiggs was one of about a dozen chimpanzees, both male and female, that played the role of Cheetah in many Tarzan films, depending on what talents the scene called for. However, no chimpanzees appeared in the original Tarzan novels by Edgar Rice Burroughs that inspired the films. By the time Lauren Bacall married Humphrey Bogart in 1945, she already had 2 Cocker Spaniels named Droopy and Puddles. I don't know what became of Puddles, but upon Droopy's passing, he was buried here. In her lifetime, Lauren Bacall also had a boxer named Harvey and a Papillon named Sophie. Sophie remained by her side until Lauren Bacall passed away in August of 2014 at the age of 89. Her will dictated that her estate would be split between her 2 children, but also made sure that there was something left for Sophie. $10 million. Topper was the trusty steed of Hopalong Cassidy and is interred here. William Boyd played the character Hopalong Cassidy in many films. Topper was born in 1935 and lived until 1959. William Boyd, along with Roy Rogers, were arguably the 2 greatest cowboy stars of film. Rudolph Valentino was one of the greatest movie stars in the silent screen era. He passed away in 1926. An estimated 100,000 people lined the streets of Manhattan to pay their respects at Valentino's funeral. 3 years after Valentino's passing, his dog, Kabar, passed away and is interred here. Kabar was given to Valentino by a Belgian diplomat in 1922. There was a cat that lived from 1947 to 1968. One day in 1952, he wandered into a classroom, room 8, at Elysian Heights Elementary School in Echo Park, California. He lived in the school during the year and then disappeared for the summer, returning when classes started again. This pattern continued without interruption until the mid-1960s. His story became so well known that news cameras would arrive at the school at the beginning of the year awaiting for the cat's return. He became so famous that he would receive up to 100 letters a day addressed to him at the school. His obituary was carried in newspapers across the country. Upon his passing, students from the school raised the funds for his gravestone. In 1934, Mae West was the highest paid entertainer in America. Her monkey, Boogie, is interred here, as well as Jimmy Durante's Irish setter Muggins, and Tawny, one of the MGM lions. Puzzums, a cat, shown here with Jeanette MacDonald, is also interred here. This cat appeared in many movies. He could cross his eyes and laugh on command. If you refer to this mortuary park map, you'll find many other interesting stories of pets and the people that loved them. Hello, everybody. It's Saturday, January 20th, 2024, at about 11 a.m., and I'm on my way out to the Los Angeles Pet Mortuary Park, located in Calabasas. It's raining a little bit, but there's been kind of a break in the rain here, so maybe it won't be raining when I get out there. I went out there about a week ago and shot some video and then put my story together, and I'm going out there to take a little more video. And I'm getting on the 101 freeway in about a mile at Valley Circle, and I'll get off at Parkway Calabasas, and we'll be at the cemetery. So right up here on the right is one of the entrances to Hidden Hills. It's a very famous enclave right there. And we're now on the Ventura Freeway traveling westbound. And we're going to get off the freeway in 1/4 of a mile at Parkway Calabasas. I came out here about a week ago and took some photos, and it was hard to find the mortuary park. I'd never been there before. I know I could have just gotten Siri to find it for me, but I stumbled around until I discovered it. But now I know how to get there. You get off the freeway here and then you turn eastbound. Looks like there's a Harley-Davidson dealership off to my right here. And this is the street right here. It's Old Scandia Lane. And here's a small sign that says LA Pet Memorial Park. So you come down this alley, and it comes down here to this T, Or actually, it's not a T, it's just basically a left turn is the only choice you have. So you come down this way and the park is off to the right. And here we are.
All right. So we'll be back at we'll be back about 2:30. All right. Tell me your name again. But I'll ask Bianca if she does. I don't. I don't want to assume I did. So you guys do whatever you do to make them look peaceful, I guess.
Yeah, I've kind of already given him his bath. I've given him his bath, and
A
cleaned him
bath.
up a little bit, and then he'll get blow dried and combed, and the whole spa treatment.
So I just talked to the staff here, and Pete the pup is not interred here. Even though it says it on their website, they told me that the website has it wrong, and they were supposed to have that corrected, but they didn't yet, I guess. But they assured me that Pete the pup is not here. What a beautiful place. Very nicely maintained. And right down the hill from Tawny is the final resting place of Puzzums, the famous cat who could laugh and look cross-eyed. Well, this is Boogie. That would be the monkey that belonged to Mae West. And here's Droopy. Here's the Cocker Spaniel that belonged to Lauren Bacall. And right over here is the cat named Pookie that belonged to Lionel Barrymore. This is the resting place of Kabar, Rudolph Valentino's dog, who was interred here in 1929, the very year that this memorial park opened. It's always been known as a park where animals of various celebrities are interred. This is a marker that is here for the family of Dr. Eugene Jones, who founded this cemetery. And these are some of his pets down here. That's the Jones headstone, Tawny's headstone, and over here, where the yellow flowers are, is the final resting place of Jiggs. An interesting fact about this memorial park is that wherever you see yellow flowers, those are areas where celebrities' pets are buried. And this is Jiggs right here. Not sure how good that name comes out on the plaque right there, the little silver plaque. But this is the final resting place of Jiggs. And it says so here as well. And then over here, we have the grave of Topper. Up along Cassidy's horse. And right down here, it says donated by friends throughout the world. This is the famous cat, Room 8. And what a fascinating story that is. At the north end of the park, we have a very historic building. This was built in 1929 when the park opened, and it's a mausoleum. Look at that architecture. A beautiful window there. And then all these crypts. There's some urns in here that have the ashes of someone's beloved pet. Here's a plaque honoring Rollins and Dr. Eugene Jones, who founded this park that opened in 1929. It started to rain a little bit, but I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.